Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ramon, and in this video I'm going to show you some VHS tapes again of movies that were released in the 1980s. I'm going to start with this first one. This is the retail tape of Missing in Action Part 2, The Beginning, with Chuck Norris, directed by Lance Hull, originally intended to be released first as the first Missing in Action. But because Joseph Zito was already shooting the sequel, and he finished this film first, and the Canon executives saw that the movie was pretty good, they released Joseph Zito's film first, and this one was released later, a year later, as a prequel, hence the title Missing in Action Part 2, The Beginning. It's a retail tape. I would rather have owned the rental tape, of course. This is Guy Hamilton's wonderful action-adventure film Remo Unarmed and Dangerous, aka Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins, with Fred Ward as Remo and Caucasian actor Joel Grey as his Asian master teacher. Love this film, great chemistry between the two leads. There's martial arts in it, people who are dodging bullets and who can dodge bullets and can run over water. I loved it as a kid. I still love it. There never was a sequel, which is a shame. This is the simple feel-good comedy Volunteers by Nicholas Meyer. Uh, they paired up Tom Hanks and John Candy again after the successful film they did for Ron Howard, Splash, year prior to this one. Also stars Rita Wilson, soon to be wife of Tom Hanks. Yeah, Volunteers. This is another comedy that Tom Hanks did in the same year, The Man with One Red Shoe, also starring Charles Durning, Laurie Singer, and it was a remake of a French film from the 1970s. One of my favorite teen sex comedies of the 1980s, Screwballs 2, but it's better known as Loose Screws. It stars a guy, his name was Brian Genesee, and 1 year after the release of this film, his name became familiar, his face became familiar, because I think around 1987, 1988, they were airing American soap operas over here, and Brian Genesee had played one of the principal characters in The Bold and the Beautiful. A lot of people watched that back in the day. I have to apply some censorship here, but this is the raunchy teen comedy Thinking Big. I don't know anything about this film. I can't show you the back. I have never seen it. This is a film that I didn't purposely buy. I didn't intentionally buy. It was part of a package deal, and that's why it's in my possession. I can't show you back, there's nudity on it, but it's in my collection. This is a movie I already shown you on DVD with Daniel Day-Lewis, My Beautiful Laundrette. My Beautiful Laundrette. And this is a thriller with horror elements that I already shown you on Blu-ray. It's Sean Cunningham's The New Kids with Lori Loughlin and James Spader, but for some reason in the Netherlands on video it came out as Striking Back, and I love the artwork for this movie. Yeah. This is a very entertaining teen comedy by Rob Reiner, The Sure Thing, with John Cusack and Daphne Zuniga. Peter Billingsley from Christmas Story saves his hometown with the use of his magical bike in the dirt bike kit. I think it's rather unknown. Nice watch. Nostalgic. One of the greatest Hong Kong action films ever made. Jackie Chan's Police Story. Started the franchise, of course. Yeah, Jackie Chan is my favorite action hero of all time. Not Arnie or Sylvester or even Van Damme. Yeah, I love this film. This is a neo-noir, maybe with some surreal elements. by Alan Rudolph, Trouble in Mind, with Chris Christopherson, Laurie Singer, and Keith Carradine. Pretty enjoyable one. And this is a terrific made-for-TV neo-noir film, Slow Burn, starring Eric Roberts and Beverly D'Angelo as a femme fatale. And also Johnny Depp is in this movie, his third appearance in a movie. He did A Nightmare on Elm Street, Private Resort, then he was in this film, and later on he would star in the hit series 21 Jump Street. Another one I've already shown you, J. Lee Thompson's Murphy's Law with Charles Bronson, produced by Canon. This is the Hong Kong actioner Above the Law, but it's better known in the rest of the world as Righting Wrongs, directed by Corey Yun, starring Cynthia Rothrock and Jun Bio. Terrific film. I don't know exactly why it came out in the Netherlands as Above the Law, but I think it has something to do with the first film that Steven Seagal did. And that one was released as Nico over here in the Netherlands. I think it was also released as Nico in the UK. But maybe to avoid confusion, this is a movie that Canon produced that was promoted as the sequel to American Ninja, which it wasn't, of course. Avenging Force, entertaining actioner with again Dudie Cobb and Steve James, and it was directed by American Ninja director Sam Furstenberg. Always enjoyed this one. This is Menachem Golan's action movie The Delta Force with Chuck Norris and I think Lee Marvin in his last starring role. Always enjoyed it as a kid for the action scenes. Nowadays I can only enjoy the action scene because there's this middle part where there's a lot of drama taking place in a plane, inside a plane, and I think Menachem Golan should have left the politics out. It doesn't work. This is a family film by Disney, Little Spies, about a group of children who want to free their dog from a pound, and they are assisted by this old man, played by Mickey Rooney, Little Spies. This is a retail tape of the comedy The Money Pit by Richard Benjamin. I have also shown you this one on DVD, Momo, based on a novel by the same writer that did The Never-Ending Story. So when you like that movie, perhaps you should check this one out. It's not as good as The Never-Ending Story, of course. This is Ron Howard's comedy Gung Ho with George Wendt and Michael Keaton. Excellent Warner Home videotape of Police Academy 3 Back in Action. But Captain Harris isn't in it, and that's one of the reasons I never enjoyed this one so much, for display purposes. This is Savage Steve Holland's comedy One Crazy Summer that I always liked. It stars Demi Moore and Curtis Armstrong and John Cusack, and Steve Holland already did a movie prior to this one with John Cusack and Curtis Armstrong, which I also liked, Better Off Dead. This is a sports drama, Youngblood, with Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, and Cynthia Gibb. Film about promising talent entering the Canadian Ice Hockey League, I believe. This is the coming of age film 7 Minutes in Heaven, starring 3 teenagers. One of them is Jennifer Connelly. She was 15 when she shot this movie, and this one came out in the same year that Labyrinth was released. This is a made-for-TV thriller of pure blood. Lee Remick plays a mother who travels to Germany because the body of her son is found dead over there, and she stumbles upon a Nazi conspiracy. This is a reboot. They tried to reboot the original Kung Fu series with this TV movie starring David Carradine, The Opium Connection, better known as Kung Fu the Movie, also stars Mako and Brandon Lee. I think they wanted to restart the series with Brandon Lee in the lead, which was ironic, of course, because his father, Bruce Lee, auditioned for the original Kung Fu series, and they didn't want him because he was Asian, and they went for David Carradine. I think it's a pretty rare tape, this one. This is the Italian Terminator ripoff, Atomic Cyborg, aka Hands of Steel. I love this film. I love this tape. The artwork stars Daniel Green, John Saxon, and directed by one of my favorite genre directors, Sergio Martino. This is the romantic comedy My Chauffeur. Doesn't really work. There's no chemistry between Deborah Foreman and Sam Jones. Deborah Foreman had great chemistry with Nicolas Cage in Valley Girl. Robert Ginty from Exterminator and Cameron Mitchell in this action film, Mission Kill, another action film that takes place in South America. This is the Haunted House spoof, Haunted Honeymoon, with Dom DeLuise, Gilda Radner, and Gene Wilder. It's okay. I don't hate this movie. It's not fantastic. It was directed by Gene Wilder himself. This is a drama about an autistic kid played by Jay Underwood, the boy who could fly. Pretty rare again. Also stars Lucy Deakins as the girl, and Fred Savage plays the kid brother of the girl. The boy who could fly, yes. This is the Hong Kong martial arts slash slapstick movie Lucky Seven, starring 7 kids. Uh, I had a hard time rewatching this. The martial arts scenes are okay, but the English dubbing makes the movie almost unwatchable. But it's in my collection, Lucky Seven. This is the vacation movie Club Sandwich, starring Charles Grodin. In the rest of the world, it's better known as Last Resort. Yeah. This is a historical drama set in Hong Kong. Taipan, starring Brian Brown, Australian actor, and Joan Chen, based on the writings of James Clavell, who also wrote Shogun. A forgettable adventure movie from the 1980s starring Wayne Crawford, I believe, Jake Speed. This is entertaining enough, a crime film starring Judd Nelson and Ali Sheedy, Blue City, their third collaboration back then. They already did Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire before they did this one. I think it's another one that's rather unknown. Gary Busey as the lead in the action film Eye of the Tiger with William Smith and Japhet Kotto. And this one, I think, was released in 1986. In 1982, Rocky III made Survivor's Eye of the Tiger song very famous, but this one also uses that song, and pretty often in the movie. This is the made-for-TV actioner Hostage Dallas with Edward Albert. It's better known as Getting Even. It's not very good, but it's directed by Dwight H. Little, who also did Marked for Death with Steven Seagal and Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. And Joe Don Baker is in it, and Joe Don Baker passed away, I think a few days ago, a week ago. May he rest in peace. John Frankenheimer did a terrific film for Canon, 52 Pickup, with Vanity and Margaret, Roy Scheider, John Glover, based on a book by Elmer Leonard, who also wrote Jackie Brown, of course, and Elmer Leonard also wrote the screenplay for this one. This is the adventure film Space Camp, in which a group of kids is accidentally fired into space. Stars Leah Thompson, Kelly Preston, and others. Lee Phoenix is also in this one. Joaquin Phoenix when he was a kid. I like this one. And the last one for today is this cool rental tape of Manhunter by Michael Mann, the first and best adaptation of the Thomas Harris Red Dragon novel. Love the artwork. Yeah, terrific film. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you want to help me, then just hit that like button for the algorithm. It's always a good thing. And I hope you will have a nice day and join me next time. Goodbye.